council meeting of November 20th will come to order. Good evening. Would ask that all in attendance turn off or silence your electronic devices, and if you would please stand to honor God and country. Dear God, as we embark on this Thanksgiving week and transition City Council, we thank you for those who have served our city and those who will be seated this evening. Thank you for your amazing power and work in our lives. Thank you for your goodness and your blessings over us. Thank you for your great love and care. Thank you for your sacrifice so that we might have freedom and life. Forgive us when we don't thank you enough for who you are, for all that you do, for all that you've given. Help us and each and every resident of Temple Terrace to set eyes and hearts on you afresh, especially those like Councilwoman Donahue and others who are mourning the loss of loved ones this holiday season. Renew our spirits. Fill us with your peace and joy. We love you and we need you this day and every day. We give you praise and thanks and honor, for you alone are worthy. Amen. We will now pledge our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If there are persons that wish to address council this evening, there are forms available in the back of the room that may be completed and filled out to the clerk to my right. As we open this evening's council meeting, we are opening with a video that has been developed by the Mayor's Youth Leadership Council to promote what makes the city of Temple Terrace great. So Brian, if we are ready in the back, if you would please play the video.
Welcome to Temple Terrace, where we strive to not only be a city, but a community. Temple Terrace is a city focused on bringing its people together through engaging and enriching opportunities.
Our city produces many events that correspond to our mission of investing in the next generations of leaders in our community.
Here in Temple Terrace, we have many events that work towards investing in our community, like our Farm Night Barbecue, an event centered around giving back to local organizations such as Parks and Recreation and the Boys and Girls Club.
My name is Dale McClellan. I'm the founder, along with a lot of help from my grandfather, of M&B Products. Farm Night Barbecue is an idea that we came up with to get closer to the community. I think that Farm Night helps the Temple Terrace community by bringing us closer together. It helps the city folks get to know ag people a little bit better, and it just makes us both more comfortable with one another. The community is so excited about doing anything to help young people, and so far all of the profits of anything that Farm Night has done has gone to an organization that helps young people.
Temple Terrace is not only investing in its community, but also in its next generation of leaders. Through an event called Temple Terrace Reads, we promote literacy by aiding future leaders in the acquisition of reading material from all different genres and backgrounds.
Temple Terrace Reads is a literacy festival that was founded about 13 years ago. I think this is our 13th year, and it incorporates literacy into the lives of children. In years past, we've had up to 4,000 people attend, which that's in conjunction with the fire department's open house, but it really gets the community out and gets them involved and lets them see what are some good things that are happening in the city. One of the local women's clubs, they have a book exchange, so children in the local schools bring books that they don't want anymore to their classrooms and then bring them to Reads. So everybody in the community can come and get books. So it's really an exchanging of literacy, an exchanging of a love of books that happens that day. Hopefully Temple Terrace Reads affects the students in a positive way. It gets them into different situations rather than just the classroom. So it's nice for the kids to get different perspectives, but also to notice that, hey, even though they're a little different, they still love reading.
Temple Terrace is a community focused on giving equal opportunities to those who may otherwise not have them. With organizations such as Buddy Baseball and St. Vincent de Paul at Corpus Christi Catholic Church, we strive to provide for and unite our diverse community.
Well, Buddy Baseball is a league for children with special needs. A lot of these kids can't play ball on a regular team because their disability holds them back, but now they can play and be successful at it because there's a buddy there to help them. The community loves Buddy Baseball because they can see kids with special needs having a lot of fun. And it also affects the buddies because they're out there giving their time and having just as much fun as the players are. My favorite story was the very first year. One kid came up and hit a home run. He gets into the dugout and he goes, "I feel so alive!" It was just an experience that was just almost makes me come to tears right now.
Temple Terrace resides right next to the Hillsborough River, where it's common to see kayakers paddling along. Temple Terrace is also proud to have a college right here in the city. Florida College has been operating on our soil for over 72 years. Our city is the nation's first golf course community. The golf course is a beloved and integral part of the community and adds to the beautiful scenery and the numerous recreational opportunities.
Temple Terrace is not only a city, but a community that we are proud to call our home.
Your Mayor's Youth Leadership Council wanted to share that with the community this evening. This is a group of young people that came together. It was an email I sent out to them in July and thought, what a lovely idea that we can actually advance and think about doing this next year, because officially we were not going to begin meeting until August. This group met in homes, started planning, and said, why would we wait? We love our community. And so on their own, with no adult assistance, this was put together by 14 to 17-year-olds who have been raised in and absolutely love our community and are not just future leaders, they're leaders today. So they wanted to share their product with you, and they've already won one grant from the Mayor's Youth Council, and I think this is a team that will bring many more awards and recognition to our city, so thank you. If the minutes of the November 5th, 2018 City Council meeting are acceptable, would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay sign. Minutes stand approved. Persons wishing to be heard on items not listed on the agenda or items on the consent agenda, a 3-minute time limit will be imposed on all comments from the public. Individual members of the public who are present in the audience may designate in writing a representative to speak on their behalf, not extending beyond a 10-minute period. As speakers come to the podium, please share your name and your city of residence. During public comment on items that are not on the agenda, the city manager and directors who are in the audience do make note of these items. And during the city manager's report later in the agenda, Mr. Stevenson may make comment on these items brought, or where further research is necessary, he or staff he assigns will reach back to our residents. We want to ensure residents that all comments relating to city business are taken seriously and are followed up on. Our first speaker this evening is Nicole Sauer. Nicole?
Good evening, Temple Terrace, Mayor, City Council, staff. Personally, first, I just want to say, David, Bob, thank you for your service. It was an honor and pleasure to work with you when I was with the city, so I'm grateful that you went your full term, and thank you for your service. I am here as Santa's helper for the Junior Women's Club. We have an event coming up on December 8th called Breakfast with Santa. It is a hot-plated meal that when you come in, you sit down, you have porcelain and silver, listen to live music while you wait to get your photo taken with Santa. Tickets are $15 per person, that includes parking. And you can reserve your tickets by going to the website ttsantabreakfast@yahoo.com. December 8th, 2 seatings, 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. We also have a holiday market at Woodmont Park, which is just right next door. That will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., where Mrs. Claus will be reading Christmas stories to the children 2 times, and parents can shop for everything that they need, shop small and local with our local vendors. But we wanted to invite you all and hope to see you there. That's it. Thank you. Congratulations to you, by the way.
Thank you, Nicole. Next, Robert Berlin.
Good
Robert Berlin and a very proud resident of Temple Terrace. I would like to say thank you to David and Bob for serving and doing such a great job for our city. And I would like to say, congratulations to Sherry Donahue for now serving another term. I'd like to welcome Gil and Jim I want to welcome them to our board. It's going to be a very exciting term, having these great new people joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who would like to address council? Seeing none, we will move forward. Next item of business is a resolution declaring the municipal election and referendum results. City Attorney Shoshone will explain and introduce the resolution. Pam.
Mayor, council members, according to the city's charter, the regular election of the city council was held on Tuesday, November the 6th of 2018, in conjunction with the Hillsborough County and State of Florida elections. 4 residents of Temple Terrace submitted the required documentation and qualified to be placed on the ballot for 3 seats on our city council. Following the election of November 6, 2018, the Hillsborough County Canvassing Board met and certified the results of the Temple Terrace municipal election and the charter referendum. Results of the Canvassing Board are attached to your agenda packet and to the proposed resolution. It is my recommendation that the results of the November 6, 2018 municipal election declaring Sherry Donahue, Gil Schizler, and James Chambers, each being duly elected to an office of city council member, and the charter referendum, in which all 3 questions were approved by the voters, be declared to be certified, valid, and accepted in accordance with the charter of the city of Temple Terrace and Florida statutes. So I'm asking that you consider the resolution that was attached to your agenda item, resolution number 13218.
Thank you, Pam. Are there members of the public wishing to address council on this matter? Seeing none, I would ask if acceptable, would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution declaring the municipal election and referendum results.
Move to approve the resolution.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the nay sign. Thank you. Motion carries. Council, I'd ask, is there any carryover business from previous meeting? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business, and we will begin with recognition of our outgoing city council members. Councilman Boss, if you would please retire to the front of the dais, and while Councilman Boss is going forward, just to say a couple of comments about Councilman Boss. Councilman Boss has made service to the city a way of life. I recall better than 10 years ago at a town hall event at our library encouraging you, Councilman Boss, to throw your hat in the ring for our city to serve on city council. Prior to joining this council, Councilman Boss served our community as a Temple Terrace police officer. Bob, your city thanks you for your service to our community, and you've made it a lifelong endeavor, and we thank you very much, Councilman Boss.
I'll talk louder. It's the control and command voice you learn in law enforcement. But it was an honor, when you see a lot of people at a council meeting, it's either gonna be a really great meeting or it's gonna be contentious. Fortunately, tonight's a great meeting, and one of the greatest things here is regardless if it's a great meeting or a contentious meeting, it's always a pleasure to hear the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag so resoundingly said by everybody. As Mayor said, I served in the police department for 20 years, here for 8 years, had great staff along the way that I've been able to work with. It's a pleasure serving the members of the community for all this time. First, I'd like to congratulate all 4 candidates on the election efforts they put forth this year. It was a great campaign. Everyone did the best they could. They're all people who care about the city, and I congratulate those people who got elected. Wishing them the best. Another city manager might say it a little bit later, but we closed on the Paragon deal earlier this week, so that's one of the things that's moving forward, and hope to see that. I have one good thing going out. So that's great. Now we're going to look forward to starting to move down there and getting built, and getting some of that TIP money in to pay down some of these loans and make everybody a little bit happier. But again, thank you to all the staff and people, employees that have worked within the city for years, all the presenters that have come here in the past that have enlightened us either way, and all the residents of the city who always put forth all their effort to everything that makes Temple Terrace better and a more amazing place. Yeah, thank you.
Take your own parking space.
Sure, I'm gonna make sure my wife can see it, so
Tell him there's a seat right there, right next to Genevieve.
Right in front of Janet.
Yeah, right there.
Again, thank you, Councilman Boss. Next is Councilman Pagoralik, and he's already told me, Chief, he's not leaving, so you might need to call in, I don't know, some kind of, but just a couple comments about Councilman Pagoralik. Business acumen, a no-nonsense straight talker. For 8 years, Councilman Pagoralik has served our city. Your willingness to challenge the status quo, to question, to stand firm, has served our community well. As a result, this evening we are able to celebrate not one, not two, but 3 developer commitments in our redevelopment area. Dave, a virtually uncompensated role and often unappreciated. Those who truly know you and what you stand for, thank you for your selfless service to our city. Councilman David Pagoralik.
I just got a few things to say, so I'm going to sit up here.
17 pages.
I'm just going to sit up here and say it. First, I want to thank my family. Almost every outgoing council person thanks their family. There's a very simple and good reason for that. It takes all of us, me and my family, to serve the great people of Temple Terrace. My mother and sister-in-law for picking up my slack when I'm here or at a function. My lovely wife and daughter for putting up with me when I come home from a rather contentious meeting, for being my sounding board, and for understanding that some nights I'm just not going to be home for dinner. And like this night, instead of out celebrating our 18th wedding anniversary, we're sitting here. So thank you for that. Next, I want to thank the good people of Temple Terrace for putting their faith in me for 8 years. When I started down this journey, I started with a servant's heart, and I'd like to think that over these 8 years that I've continued down that road. I strive to make decisions that were not in my best interest, but rather the best interest of all you people. Excuse me. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. I would have put the interest of the people in the city first. So when I get asked, and I get asked a lot, what's it like to be a politician? I get asked that often. My answer is always the same. I don't know, because I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. I serve the people. I never saw myself as a politician, and I never want to see myself as a politician. But I will always see myself as a public servant. The other question I get asked a lot is, what do I want to be remembered for? Well, that answer gets a little bit more complicated. You see, I'm very proud of what council has accomplished. You heard earlier that we closed on one of the redevelopment parcels. We have 2 other parcels that hopefully will close shortly. So redevelopment's moving in the right direction. We've beautified River Hills Park Boardwalk. We put new boards in. It's looking good down there. The rec center is getting a facelift. And the people spoke this time around, and all 3 of the charter amendments passed. And we were able to do the renovations at the park and spruce up the rec center, all while lowering your millage rates. I'm very proud of that. But none of that happened just because of me. It happened because of this council and other councils. It happened because of staff, and it happened because of our number of volunteers that worked tirelessly for less pay than me to make this all happen. So when I get asked, what do I want to be remembered for? It's pretty simple. I'd like to be remembered for serving our city well. That's all I want to be remembered for. This brings me to a suggestion I have. Excuse me. A suggestion I have for my fellow citizens. Instead of criticizing, instead of second-guessing, instead of saying, oh, we should do this differently, be the change you want to see. Be like Jimmy Chacho. A few years ago, our club was not doing so well, our country club. Jimmy didn't complain. Jimmy didn't race down to City Hall. Jimmy grabbed his wheelbarrow, his shovel, his edger, and his broom, and he cleaned up 4 miles of curb around the country club. He just went out and did it because he knew it needed to be done. Be like David Long. At one of our town hall meetings, the subject of trash came up and how people see trash all over the place. David Long stepped up and said, do what I do. When I go out for a walk, when I go on my jet ski, when I go out for a jog, I take a bag with me. And I pick up trash when I'm out jogging. So be like David Long. Be like my mother-in-law's neighbor. One day I was going over to my mother-in-law because she had picked up my daughter because I couldn't, because I was at a function doing something for the city. And there was this woman on a ladder with a bucket and a brush, and she was washing her street signs. She didn't sit there and complain. She didn't go run down to City Hall. She took a bucket and a brush, and she cleaned her street signs. Be like her. Be like the dozens of volunteers that we have in the dozens of different groups and committees that all put tireless hours in to make our city the amazing city that it is. And I have to tell you, I didn't always think this way. 9 years ago, 9 plus or minus years ago, I didn't really think this way. And then somebody came up to me and said, hey, Dave, you should think about running for city council. And I had all the excuses everybody else has. I don't have the time. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to run an election. And then this person said to me something that we've all heard him say hundreds of times. And if you know the words, repeat them with me. If you want to make a difference, you have to get involved. So to Councilman Shalor, excuse me. On behalf of the city of Temple Terrace, I say thank you. Thank you for, excuse me. Thank you for opening my eyes. And to all of our citizens, I say thank you and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Councilman David Pagorlik. At this time, I would ask Councilmember Donahue if she would approach the front of the dais, and she will be joined by her grandson Wyatt Allender to administer the oath of office. And Chief, if you would cue our bagpipes.
I, Sherry Donahue, do solemnly swear
that I will support, uphold, and defend the Charter
that I will support, uphold, and defend the Charter
and ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
and ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Florida,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Florida,
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace,
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace,
and am entitled to hold the office of council member to which I have been elected,
and am entitled to hold the office of council member to which I have been elected,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of said position,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of said position
into and of which I am about to enter, so help me God.
into and of which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
And Councilmember Donahue, as you return to your seat, would you like to introduce your special guest and address our citizens?
I definitely would like to do that. First of all, thank you very much to Wyatt. By the way, today is his birthday, so it's a pretty big day. I'd like to introduce the love of my life, Mike Donahue, who many of you may know as a math teacher, principal, and my driver. Yeah. And my daughter and her husband, Jeannie and Chad Allender, and Miss Genevieve, who is the youngest of 9 grandchildren. So they're here. Thank you for being here. And as many of you know, my greatest cheerleader and supporter, and probably the only person I know who faithfully watched city council meetings on TV, my mom, Vicki Rowe, passed away this week. Now to her, I give my thanks for my volunteer spirit and the gumption to see things through to the end. And that's what she did. So what's it like to be re-elected? Wow. What does that mean to me? Well, to me, it means first, recognition of an honorable name. Thank you for recognizing my work in the community, all done with us in mind and never alone, always with a group, an organization, or a committee. And all of those things were done to highlight our city, to raise money for charitable works, or to work with our schools, and to brainstorm for ways that we can do it better. I see it as an encouragement to continue the work as a council member as we continue to move the downtown redevelopment into position, as we go into the second year of the renovation of the family recreation complex, and as we approve the plans for the implementation of our portion of the new transportation penny sales tax initiative, which was so wildly supported by the citizens. I also see it as a Hart board member, especially as an elected member of the search committee for the currently ongoing and underway search for a new CEO for the Hart organization. And as a designated member traveling to the American Public Transportation Association's Industry Leadership Summit, try to say that all in one, which will be next week in Washington, D.C. So I'm told to wear my coat. In all these things, I promise to live up to the trust of the voters who put me back in this seat, to live with the high standards that are expected of me from the citizens of Temple Terrace, from the directors and employees of this city, and most of all, from my family. Thank you and welcome to the two new members of the team, Mr. Chambers and Mr. Schisler. Thank you.
Next, Councilman Gil Schisler, would you please come forward, along with Mr. Dan Daniels, to administer the oath of office to Councilmember Schisler.
I'm Dan Daniels, and I've had the honor and pleasure of working with Gil and knowing Gil for many years. He's a very dedicated, community-oriented person, also smart and good with numbers. So I'm honored, and it's my honor and pleasure to administer the Temple Terrace Community Oath of Office to you, Gil. And to his lovely wife, Lisa. So, all right, so without further ado, let's administer the oath of office. I,
Gil Schisler,
do solemnly swear
that
that I will support, uphold, and defend
I will uphold, support, and defend
the Charter and ordinances for the city of Temple
the
Terrace,
Charter and ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Florida,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Florida,
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America.
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
That I am a resident of the city of Temple Terrace
that I'm a resident of the City of Temple Terrace
and am entitled to hold the office of council member,
and entitled to hold the office of council member
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of said position,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of said position,
into and of which I'm about to enter,
into which I'm about to enter,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
And Councilmember Schisler, please introduce your special guest and any address you would like to make to our citizens.
I'm sorry.
Your mic's on here.
I'll get this for next week. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Wow. Just a couple words. I really never thought this day would come. It's been a long time, a long road to get to this point, and I never would have made it without the help of a lot of people and the guidance of a lot of people. I got here, Dad. I want to say thank you to my many supporters through the years and those who've always believed in me and what I wanted to try and do for Temple Terrace. There's no particular order to this list, but thank you to Annette, Jack, Don, Ron, Bill and Ellen, Joe, Jack, Jan, and of course, Jimmy C. To council members Ross, Boss, Pagorlich, Chaloran, Donahue, and to Mayor Harado, you guys are a tough act to follow, but thank you for your leadership. To Mr. Stevenson, Ms. Mooney, and Ms. Sashon, and your staff and department heads, thank you. To my friends here tonight, my oldest friend in Tampa, he couldn't be here tonight, but to Peter Steffens, who was my first friend when I moved here, Temple Terrace, 45 years ago. To Julie Bedford, who was a graphics designer extraordinaire. To Pete Ellis, to Wayne Pappy, George Fox, Doc Baker, and Hank Murphy, my breakfast buds from Reuben's Cubans, where we solve all the problems of the world 3 times a week. Thank you. To Dan Daniels, a longtime colleague who officiated my swearing in tonight, thank you. To Ann Nemi, who helped keep us sane through the whole process, thank you. To Chris and Cindy Barquin, my campaign consigliere, certified sign installer, and best neighbor anyone ever could hope for, thank you. And to my family, to Alex, Cameron, Kinsley, and Avery, the best campaigners and parade candy throwers ever. Thank you. To Gibby and his wife, Kim, untold hours of keeping my head on straight and a great watch party. Thank you. To Jennifer and Adam, she was my campaign manager and treasurer. Words cannot express my gratitude, but thank you, and I'll be there to help you in your campaign. To my wife, Lisa, wow, we did it finally. Thank you for campaigning with me, supporting me when I got tired or bummed out, pulling me off the ceiling when I'm on good days, keeping me in sunscreen, and for always being there and allowing me to pursue this dream. You endured forums, parades, and meet and greets, and just plain politicking in general. To that I say thank you and I love you. Thank you.
If Councilmember James Chambers would please come forward, along with Kathy Tack, to administer the oath of office to our new council member. Councilmember James Chambers.
Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, James Chambers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Florida,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Florida,
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace,
and am entitled to hold the office of council member,
and that I am entitled to hold the office of council member,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of said position
that I will faithfully perform the duties of said position
into and of which I am about to enter.
into and of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And we welcome Councilmember Chambers, and as you come forward, please introduce your special guest and address our citizens.
Well, hello.
Push to speak. We never got training on the microphone yet. Anyway, my special guest, first standing with me was my wife, Beth. Hi, Beth. Thank you. And again, Gil said about, everybody said about family. Beth did a great job in the campaign and helping me. Kathy Tack, if you don't know Kathy that swore me in, she was administrative assistant to 2 city managers. She worked for the city 24 years. She was administrative city manager to Mr. Bonfield and Mr. Linebaugh. Thank you, Kathy. We became very good friends at the end of my career. The start of the career, she corrected me way too much to be friends. Also in the audience, a man I haven't seen in a couple of years, and I was so excited that he could come. And I want him to stand up. I know he didn't want to, but please, Ken Boyd, stand up. Ken Boyd. Ken Boyd was the first director of the Recreation Department. He started the department in the 1960s. He was the man that hired me in 1973 that embarked me on this career of service to the Temple Terrace community. Thank you, Ken, very much. Joe Affronti, I worked with him when he was on council, then as mayor. Thank you, Joe. You taught me a lot about city government, and I appreciate that. Then on the other side, my group split. On the other side of the room, my best friend, it's hard to believe that this year, it was 50 years ago that my family moved into Temple Terrace, and Ray lived across the street, and he was the first person I met in Temple Terrace, and we've been friends ever since. Ray Howland and his wife, Debbie, they're over here. At least wave. Do so. Okay, thank you. And two people that helped a lot with my campaign, the signs and the website and stuff, Scott and Karen Daves. They're over there. Thank you very much. And last but not least, best father, my father-in-law, Spafford Taylor. Stand up. About Spafford, in the 60s and 70s, he taught tennis lessons and was one of the main reasons I got into tennis, so thank you very much starting that career. I am honored and humbled to be elected to this position, and I look forward to working with all the fellow council members, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, and all the department heads. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. It's going to be exciting, and thank you very much.
We would like members of the public to know, for both our retiring and our new council members, all would like to invite you to join us for a reception in honor of those at the Public Works Building, which is located directly across the parking lot from City Hall. At this point, I would ask City Manager Stevenson for your report for the evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to say thank you to the outgoing council members. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. For 2 years now that I've been city manager. We've got a new council. I guess that's good because that means I've been around here long enough to see that change. It's always good. Welcome, Mr. Chambers and Mr. Shishler, to the group. We look forward to working with you. As has been previously said, and I wanted to make this announcement publicly, we were able to close on the Paragon deal yesterday. As of late, we received a wire transfer of just shy of $3.4 million. We plan on using that money in order to start paying off the loan that we have, that short-term loan that we have with Republic Bank. Unless we have a different direction, we would like to pursue with moving in that direction to start getting some of these loans paid off. So that's been the intent all along, is to sell some of this property, get some development going. There was a whole reason for splitting the two notes up into two different notes so that we can address this from a good financial standpoint, basically. So unless I hear otherwise from council, we will proceed on doing that. Our finance director is way in the back, and I know she's anxious to apply some of that money. We're paying interest on a daily basis. So we can start this process of getting the ball rolling. As we start getting plans for the corner property that Paragon has purchased, we'll share that with everybody. They will be bringing a site plan in. It's my understanding they're working on plans as we speak. So we look forward to continuing that progress. And again, welcome to the new council. We look forward to working with you guys. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Thank you, all of the staff that has worked on this. This is a big, hairy, audacious goal that's been met. So thank you for this, and we are moving forward with redevelopment. If there is no, yeah, absolutely. If there is no further business to come before this body, our meeting will stand adjourned. Please join us across the parking lot.